Hello and welcome to the First Issue Club podcast. Welcome back, clubbers. We are your comic book podcast where we cover first issues exclusively every week. We're a reading club and we help and walk you through the muddy and murky water that is the comic book landscape. Did I get it?
Yeah, that's us.
You nailed all the bullet points of what we are as a podcast.
I truly...
If you said comic book and podcast a few more times.
And weekly.
Here's the problem. If I read exactly what we were supposed to say, you guys would still beef me on this.
Oh, we'd beef you. We'd ground beef you. We'd grill you. Here's what we should do. We should have just a recorded intro, so none of us have to
nobody.
worry.
People like this. This is what they want. They want the organic sauce. What is this? What is this podcast? It's about
mistakes.
It's about comic books. What do? We read first issues. How often do we do it? We do it weekly. Do we review things? Kind of, but not really. We just talk about them. And now we do the news.
That's right to the point.
Yeah, I love
that. Yeah. Hey man, if we give you your W's, we gotta feed you your L's too. You started with an L and you evened out with a hot W right there.
Thank you. We all have to say we came off of a week where it was just two of us.
Yep.
It was Greg and
Holding
Mike
it
D.
down.
Yeah. The duo. The podcast in some ways sounded better. No offense to myself and Caitlin. But Budget King and Caitlin.
We didn't have anything to distract us. It was just us staring at each other's eyes, just
Yeah,
like, let's get this done as quick
I
as
bet you didn't get
possible.
the intro wrong.
We didn't.
I can't tell. I wasn't there for the edit, so I can't confirm or deny that.
We went through 16 tries.
But here we are again, another week. Another comic books came out again.
Yep.
And
Despite all odds.
this week we are covering Bad Mother on APA.
AWA.
AWA.
AWA. Thank you.
APA, that's like...
American Psychological Association.
Ah, yes. And then we are covering
Atlantis Wasn't Built for Tourists.
by Scout Comics. It's half
Our
Scout.
good friend over at Scout.
Our good friend over at Scout Comics. There was a lot of stuff that came out this week, and I'm going to tell you, the biggest news article that we have this week is that we passed on Transformers and My Little Ponies, Friendship in Disguise. That's the real hot ticket IDW book that came out this week that we should be covering.
You were fighting for that in the text thread.
Very,
and
very
I
hard.
Don't know why.
I didn't realize you were a brony.
As much as we trash IDW for doing this, you were like really pushing for it.
I think that it will be fun to see Optimus Prime chum it up with Rainbow Dash and see where they go.
The fact that you even know their names. I guess you have a daughter.
Have you read it yet?
It's not. I don't know No, I have it here. I'm gonna read it. I'm excited to read it.
Okay.
It's gonna be fire. The cover looks crazy. The concept alone.
One thing, I know that our podcast can be fun and silly every once in a while, but I think in general our podcast isn't a joke. And so I don't want to cover stuff like that. It's low-hanging fruit.
I think that people in general, there are people who may not be the three of you who are balls to the wall fucking excited about this book. Two of their favorite franchises finally came, or at least one of them.
Yeah, I don't know if the Venn diagram actually overlaps on these two franchises.
It's technically a first team.
This is a long... Oh, my God. So is there like a Transformer pony in this? Is that what's happening?
See? And therein lies your willingness to read it.
All right, well, then it may sneak its way onto the Patreon then.
Oh, it will. It's going to.
I forgot, you have a microphone at home.
Yeah. And I'm going to figure out how to upload on Patreon.
Yeah, Budget King said he was going to do this episode on Patreon himself. So get ready for his, Rush Limbaugh-style tirade on Transformers and My Little Pony.
The lamestream media will have you think that Rainbow Dash doesn't have the tenacity or the absolute unmitigated gall to get to Unicron. Well, let me tell you here, folks. Not only does she have the passion and the
it's still
drive to
going.
get there, but she'll lift up Optimus Prime on her wings herself.
Honestly, you should produce for Rush Limbaugh. That's like, it's spot on. It's something, it's controversial, but, people would like it. I think.
It's controversial enough that people will talk about it.
Yeah, That's all it is. That's all I'm doing. I've always wanted to be shock jock, and I feel like brony culture and Transformers is my in. So hop on the Patreon and you'll hear it all.
I actually can't wait for that episode.
This was like when Valiant did that Ray Shremmerd crossover.
With Shadow Man?
Yeah, they were just like, idiots will buy it. Just hire whoever to write it.
Here's who won't buy it. Ray Shremmerd fans or Shadow Man fans. Just complete buffoons will walk into the comic book shop and go, oh, I need that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the guy that, like, I drive by a 7-Eleven and I can whiff that they have a new sour Skittle flavor. So I pop in, grab it. So I just saw this on the shelf and I was like, ooh, new. $4 later, I'm the proud owner of something very valuable. In other news, there's lots of news. We're going to do a little roundtable of news. Did you see that they have released the full voice cast of Invincible, the cartoon, the animated series on Hulu?
Okay, that's like calling action figures toys, like tomato, honestly.
And in prep for this, Image released a free comic book day of a reissue of the #1 of it. Greg, you are a big Invincible fan.
Yes, huge.
Do you have the first issue?
That is my white whale.
Okay.
I distinctly remember holding it in my hands in a time when I was very poor.
Yeah.
And I think it was in high school when this book came out.
Yeah.
So that and the first Walking Dead, I can clearly see in my mind picking those up and being like, I don't have enough money. I should probably just get this Avengers 224 and then be on my way.
And then 20 years later, you find yourself buying Transformers and My Little Pony and not even thinking about it.
In bulk, because I know the resale on that's going to be crazy. But yes, the Invincible cast has been released, and it's a fucking banger. I have one tiny gripe, but the rest is pretty spot on for me.
I'm going to read you some of the names because I don't know for most people if it's going to matter who it matches up with, unless you want me to tell you what character they're playing.
I don't care.
Okay. Steven Yen, which, do you guys know who that is?
From The Walking Dead?
Yeah. He was my favorite character in The Walking Dead. J.K. Simmons.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Sandra Oh.
From ER.
Yeah, from ER.
I thought she was Grace.
From Grey's Anatomy.
Sorry.
From a doctor show.
Mark Hamill.
No brainer. He's been in a ton of
From the
voice acting
Joker.
stuff.
Yeah. He only played the
Hold
Joker.
on.
From the
Mark Hamill, best known as the Joker.
From the Joker.
That's it. Nothing else comes to
End
mind.
of list.
I don't really know what else. Yeah,
Yep.
that's
I'm gonna explode.
that's like Richard Kind from A Bug's Life.
And then
Or Dennis Hopper from A Bug's Life.
Seth Rogen.
Wow.
That's my gripe.
Okay, tell me about it.
He's playing Alan the Alien, and I don't see Seth Rogen fitting in with that character of Alan the Alien.
It's gonna be Seth Rogen's Alan the Alien.
It's gonna be hey guys, hey guys, I'm Cookie Monster. I mean Seth Rogen. That's the one I don't really.
He does. Didn't he do a voice before? He did.
He's done tons of voices. He was a hot dog in the Sausage Fest movie. I
Oh
think.
my god, I
Yeah.
never saw
Oh,
that.
that was a wonderful movie. That's
I never saw
a
it.
great movie.
I didn't see it just because of Seth Rogen.
You're doing yourself a disservice.
He's not anti-Rogan.
That man.
I'm not. Well, I'm anti one Rogan, but not Seth.
Rogaine
Yes, that's why my hair's falling out.
and Jason Mantzoukas.
Won't touch the stuff.
That's Jason Mantzoukas. I am super excited to see him.
Who is? I mean, I don't know
He's
that I would.
Rexplode.
Okay.
You know who he is, though.
Oh,
Oh, sorry.
1,000%.
Because I was like, you have to know. I don't.
She makes
I
me
know.
wear a mask of Jason Mantzoukas each time.
Well, if you don't know
we come
something
to
about
this.
Yeah.
Caitlin, she knows famous people.
And
I don't
Jason
know them
Mantzoukas, not
personally.
famous.
He's a huge comic book fan too, so that's kind of cool
Yeah.
for him.
He's a big podcast comedy bang bang guy. Like that's how I think most of us know him.
Yeah.
He's a huge comedian.
So
He's
How-
slender. He's not huge.
He's a host of How Did This Get Made?
Mm-hmm.
Popular podcast.
one of the weird things about this, though, is that the #1s of these issues of Invincible are not like skyrocketing, shooting up like they should be.
Well,
With
they've been
spec
so
for the
high
show.
for so long.
Yeah, they didn't like double in value, and I
Mm.
think it's because this isn't live action.
I think that's my theory as well. If this had been live action and Drake, what's his thing from Josh and Drake, was supposed to be Invincible. Like he wanted to play Invincible.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah, he made this big thing before he got arrested for drinking.
Drinking?
He wanted
For drinking.
just drinking, not drinking and driving. They had one Bud Light, and he goes, "Get in the back of the wagon." The paddy wagon.
He's
for
got
arresting.
to be of age. There's got to be
No,
more to
he's-
this.
It was drunk. It was drunk driving. It wasn't
Okay.
because he had a Bud Light lime and
For drinking.
yeah.
Speaking of which, did you guys see that the FBI went to Jake Paul's house today?
Yeah, they raided him. They took
What?
some guns.
Why? He had guns?
hmm
That's what it was?
Well, I mean, I don't know. He was in Arizona, so you can have anything in Arizona.
Did he
so
have
it wasn't just for
did he have-
guns.
Did he have alcohol, too?
Yeah.
Was he drinking?
Guys, I'm telling you, drinking is an epidemic in this country.
As you sit and drink a beer.
It's a rattler.
That's true. It's a low ABV. That's the end of news. I was going to say the Umbrella Academy's out. That's not news. It's interesting. If you don't know that, you live under a rock.
Some comic book news that deals directly with comic books. The Ed Brisson Ghost Riders series has been canceled, and the Mark Waid, Stephen Strange, Surgeon Supreme has been canceled after 6 issues each.
Those are two great writers, so that's
Yeah,
weird.
And it's a fucking bummer. So I think the Marvel ship has taken on a lot of water during COVID, and they're doing their best to unload some heavy baggage to right the ship.
Oh, God, I hope they do more big events.
They have 18 planned in 2020 alone.
Who needs
I mean,
regular
maybe
old stories?
maybe that's a good point, though. Maybe it's a disservice to do a ton of big events when you're just trying to get books off the ground in general to recoup.
I would agree.
Because
Yeah.
people are spending so much money to, like, especially completionists, and not picking up the other books.
Yeah, that's a good point. I wonder
bummer.
what the sales margin looks like if they did a true analysis. They probably know better than I do. But
Yeah, that's a good point.
I'm sure you get more suckers to buy more stuff based on events.
yeah, they just like Ghost Riders back again.
Yeah, right.
Oh my God, he's back again.
Flip it, spin it. Let's begin. My head's on fire and I'm burning bright.
Hell yeah, that was great.
All right, don't stop him.
Yeah. When did Little Dicky get
No,
here?
I'm Lin-Manuel
Oh shit.
Oh my God, please write a hip opera
of Ghost Rider.
of Ghost Rider.
As if I were
Can you do
Lin-Manuel.
that?
Yeah.
As if you were Hamilton.
Yeah, I'll have the full goatee that he has.
I'm
too.
pretty sure it's a disservice to call Hamilton a hip opera, but I just want to see a Ghost Rider hip
I
opera.
think it's a hip hop.
Yeah, that's definitely hip opera. How do people let Lin-Manuel Miranda walk around with that facial hair looking like that?
When
Honestly.
you make that much money, you can have whatever facial hair you
Like
want.
nobody told him he looks like
It's
a
a-
meth addict.
It's a goatee.
Yeah, I don't really
Many
see
people
the
have
problem.
goatees.
He
I
looks,
don't see the
looks
problem
like a
with it.
suffering poet. It's awful.
Did he not do it for the part of Alexander Hamilton or something?
This is how the man looks. Anywhere
just
you
always
see him.
looks like that?
Yeah.
You are
I
so
don't.
offended.
I've seen him with other varied methods.
It's
You
like
have?
he has like the rebel flag tattooed on his forehead.
I don't know if he looked like that when he was doing In the Heights. I don't know.
You just look at his goatee. And
Is he
it's-
in the
he's just
Heights
like,
or is he
it's
just
heritage?
making it? He's in it.
I don't.
This man does
know
everything.
for sure. Yeah,
So
he does.
Are you upset about that?
Fine. But when he gets Ellen, and I was the one saying
Look,
that
he's Gizmo Duck.
Oh,
okay?
what's going on with that?
It's her people underneath her. It's mostly reports of
I
staff.
have always
right?
seen this on Reddit. And I love the chains that come on Reddit when it's like, who is a shitty person but nobody knows it, or a shitty person
Oh,
in real
really?
life.
It's her.
It is always
Alf.
Ellen, and it's never Alf.
Alf.
And it's always the other guy that's replacing her too. That guy always gets mentioned.
Who's replacing her? I don't know.
Singing
so
Cars
much.
and I'm British.
Oh,
James
James
Corden?
Corden.
Yes. Always gets mentioned as a douchebag.
Huh.
So it's weird that, you know,
Now, why are they douchebags? Is it because they're highly motivated and don't take incompetence well?
I think they live into their fame.
To be fair, so would I.
Are they goats like Jordan?
I mean, the reports.
They
The
probably
Ellen a goat.
Yeah,
She's the goat. She's the greatest of all time.
Can't be nice.
she's done.
no, you can't.
Not in this biz to make friends.
Nope.
Yep. Her
James Corden, I could fucking
I'm still gonna
care
play
less
her
about.
game though. The flippy phone game that she runs.
I don't really.
yeah.
I've never really like her stand-ups. Even I don't really think that she portrays herself as nice.
Yeah.
I think maybe non-threatening.
She's like,
but she's not like super.
she's big into like, you broke your arm or you saved your sister from a drowning pool. Here's $1 million,
Right.
like type of thing. Yeah.
But I mean, even her interviews, she takes pot shots. I don't think she's
Yeah.
very like.
Big into pranks.
Yeah, I mean, but I think the stuff that is coming out about her now, or at least people who
Yeah.
work for her, is way worse.
If you're heavily into pranks, everyone knows you're an asshole. Terrible to work with.
Yeah, frankly, all I know from Twitter is that she's being canceled. I don't know the reasons why.
She's
She's
just
been canceled?
She's just Justin Bieber in 35 years.
Justin Bieber would love to be her in 35 years. Is it really 35 years? Might be 20 years, right?
Ellen's like 60.
Oh.
Yeah. She's 60.
That's a weird reaction to have.
Yeah. No, that was guttural. That was like you just got hit with a bomb.
No, I mean, like, I was, like, she looks...
Ellen is 60. Oh,
You're right.
Way past the age of mattering for women.
You're
why
right.
hasn't she shuffled off under a rock by now?
I am displeased with learning that information.
I just, the way, the demeanor
Isn't
that
Kate
she
Upton
had,
available?
that's why she's getting canceled. She's expired.
I like that Eric Andre has this campaign to replace
Oh
her.
my God. I would lose my goddamn mind if that happened.
Did you see that Nick Kroll posted the picture that they blended of Eric and Ellen's face? And he was like, is this me? Did you just take a picture of me?
That would be so good.
I don't know if middle America white women are ready for Eric.
Oh, absolutely not.
I think he's Jewish.
He is.
He is.
Yeah.
So?
I think middle America love a good Jew.
Look at
Not a
Seinfeld.
black one, though.
That's a good point. They love bagels. I'm not sure they love Jewish
I
people.
wouldn't say the middle of the country is known for just
For their love of
extending
bagels.
large amounts of love to Jewish people or bagels.
That's a good point.
When's the last time you saw an Einstein Bros around here?
Oh.
They all closed.
Yeah.
They did.
And not due to COVID. I think that's all we had.
Let's get this podcast.
Darling. I said it like a nerd.
That was good. And first up, we have Atlantis Wasn't Built for Tourists by Eric Palicki and Wendell Cavalcanti. This is the alternate version of this comic book was Alanis Morissette is bad to tour with. Was that right?
Close enough.
Yeah, nailed it.
Yeah.
She also has an album out.
She does.
It's
I've been
pretty
hearing
good,
a lot
actually.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard it was good.
Okay, Caitlin. What is Atlantis is not built for tourists? Kind of, right? On Scout?
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, these names of these comic books these days.
The name of this one kind of drew me in.
It did,
At
yeah.
least to see what it was about.
Actually, the description drew me in
And
as
then
well.
it kicked you right out.
Well, this description will probably not match that one. One of my biggest pet peeves is when they go through the whole damn story arc
Okay.
in the first issue's description.
Yeah.
So I will not be giving that to you guys. So we have at least enough to discuss for the first one. So this first issue portrays a drifter passing through a town that in this town has a curfew and some strange residents. After a run-in with a group of them, the drifter decides he might stay put.
Ah, yes. The one thing that it was also in the description that Greg may or may not like was the mention of H.P. Lovecraft.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Woohoo.
I couldn't stop reading this book soon enough. And I love how they really stuck with the theme that vampires and lizard people
Our friends
come together.
are friendly.
Okay, so we have somebody in one corner. I'm going to just get
So-
out of the gate and say I'm not in that corner, and we can continue to discuss. But let's not steamroll it one way.
So this
Gotcha.
this comic book was kickstarted. There's a whole fandom for it, at least that started it, and in some ways. And Greg's not in that camp. Did anybody else want to weigh in on how they feel?
Immediately upon knowing that one, this is a Kickstarter comic. 2, it's one that Scout scooped up. I was immediately impressed by the artwork. I think that a lot of times they can be a little lacking in Scout comics, and this looks like a professionally made comic. So already, yeehaw!
That's a seal of approval from Mike.
I've got all kinds of takes on this comic and where it was fun and where it was like silly, but all in all, I think a good story that kept me like locked in throughout the entire book.
I would agree.
I was interested in what happened, where it was going, and a little bit of what's to come.
I think that what got through me a little bit was when it went campy, it like turned up the dial on camp real quick, and I just didn't know that was coming. So that was a little bit of a...
So should we just get into that scene? Or do we need to wind our way up there?
No, I think,
I think the wind-up's pretty good. There
Yeah,
was
yeah.
a man backpacking through America. He saves a woman from a car crash that he may or may not have caused.
Yeah, right. He's like hitchhiking across the country, and she's drunk at the wheel, falling asleep.
Man, sounds like a
And
Taylor Swift song.
Swerves. to
yeah,
this-
or like Drake and Josh.
I don't know.
Or like
That
Amanda
class-
Bynes' real life.
Yes, when comics becomes reality. And then so he's homeless, traveling across America from Cleveland,
Great. Yep.
and he decides to spend the night in a jail.
Yeah.
Not in a jail cell.
next to a jail.
He's invited.
Let's say yeah. So the woman the woman who wrecks her car swerving to miss him is the daughter of a sheriff in this town called Atlantis within a county that's also called Atlantis, which I thought was funny.
Yes.
But yes.
And he's
the old town within the county.
he's the kind of good old boy type, but I also like that they make him this sort of moral compass too.
Right.
Like he's like, I mean,
cold-blooded.
if you're gonna punish this guy for being out past curfew, what are you gonna do to your niece? And he's like, oh, she will not escape the full extent of the law.
I will kill her.
But then he does have this sort of backdoor deal with whatever these vampires are doing there.
So
it's weird.
yes, so he's sleeping next to a jail. Sorry guys, it wasn't in the jail. And then when the sheriff leaves, vampires come out, and he's like, "Oh, it had to be vampires." And then
The sheriff is colluded with the vampires, important to note,
Yes.
Yeah, he basically gave him a treat.
and
did.
left a drunkard in the tank and this drifter on the couch to be eaten alive as like part of their deal to like keep peace in his small town.
I sort of thought that's why he told him to stay on the couch, because he didn't want him to be in the back where the cells were,
Yeah.
and he just thought they could maybe get away with
this
it.
is one of those moments where I'm liking the comic more as you talk about it.
I'm glad to hear that.
He flips on him and he says, "You guys don't eat me. I'm a snake man, or I'm a lizard person."
He transforms from normal skinned human man into bright green reptile
Claw.
eyes scale
Yeah.
claw guy, which is like the funny thing was I was like, okay, so vampires and this other mythological creature that's popular? No.
Yeah.
And green guy.
He's definitely his own thing.
I'm the villain from the TV show Verse, or V.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like the way they transitioned with
I'm
like
Slytherin.
like don't say it's vampires made it sound like it was like another classic tale of bloodsuckers versus reptile
Chameleons?
guy.
Never in the lore of vampires is it discussed that they have an uneasy alliance with the lizard people of
All right.
It's a tale as old as time,
you know,
Gregory.
Panama or something.
This is one of the key things that I really wanted to talk about was so he locks the vampires in the jail cell while they've moved into the jail cell to eat the drunkard.
Okay.
He makes a deal, our lizard hero,
Prince, king, you know.
our lizard king. This is not a Doors comic. The lizard king makes a deal to let like one of them out to like have a fight
Fight Club.
right?
Yeah.
And
How most deals are made
the
nowadays.
vampires are like, all right, you're gonna get fucking destroyed. You're a mere mortal. I don't think at this point he hasn't revealed himself as
No.
Snake Man.
Oh yeah,
He duped him.
Yeah.
He's playing dirty.
So the vampire comes out, and he earns the respect of the vampires by punching the head straight off of one of their best friends. He's like one of the 6 vampires in this small, tight-knit town. And he's just like, you know what you did there? He was one of my best boys, my brother.
Could you? Okay.
you earned my respect.
But you earned my damn respect. You're part of our crew now.
there are
Okay.
children vampires.
It's like, could you have just turned green and been like, can I join you guys?
Can you guys? Okay, but imagine this scenario: we're locked in a jail.
Yep.
Been there.
Serial, the podcast, right next to us. We let Greg out. They punch Greg's head off.
Oh no.
I'm like, okay, Serial, we're one podcast now.
You've earned our
I walk.
respect.
I walk.
Caitlin not having it.
He's out of there.
It does seem weird that the alliance was formed so quickly, but I mean,
And with complete trust.
he clearly has another motive. He's not actually trying to join them.
This comic not as bad as we started off with.
I never once thought it was
I
bad.
didn't either. I thought it was fun.
I loved the beginning, middle, and end.
All of it. Well, that was Atlantis is not for tourists.
Atlantis Morissette is not for tourists.
Atlantis Morissette will not tour with you.
Stop asking her.
We're covering Bad Mother from
AWA.
AWA. Awa.
Yeah. Known for trying to make you think it's a movie. That's like their thing.
Yes, they're made by like comic book veterans. This is a publisher made by veterans in the comic book industry.
Krista Faust and Mike Diododa Jr.
Right. Both names that you
Heavy
should know by
hitter.
now. They tout these books as like new and daring and exploring new avenues in comics. And so far, all the ones we've read from AWA have been pretty generic and episodic. And when we're getting off track, we gotta stay on task.
Yeah.
Bad Mother.
Okay. Bad Mother, the cover would lead you to believe that a mid-size mother.
Oh my god.
What is she, a sedan? What's the J.D. Power Associate award for that?
Sport
What's
utility
the blue
mom.
book on that bad mother?
How many kids can she hold back there?
She's not
What's the trunk space on that Bad Mother?
Ooh.
she's not
Mid-sized woman. Let me give you a piece of advice.
So
Don't
wrong.
ever
How am I supposed to
describe a woman like that.
I don't want to. She's not plus size. So
Average.
Okay, the fact that this is happening right now just goes to show you how insanely atypical it is for a middle-aged woman that isn't a toothpick to be in a comic book.
that's what I'm
We
saying.
don't even know how to refer to her.
I just want to say that she doesn't
What is-
look like boobalicious like
What is
lady.
this conundrum of a character?
And if it was a dude, we'd probably just be like a middle-aged
right.
dude.
She's
Yeah.
not a MILF. Like so it's
She might be to some people.
sorry.
Yeah.
I meant like
Let's
I was
just remove all potential sexual appeal. Get it out of the
She
picture.
is nothing. She might as well be a statue made from granite.
I was speaking in porn terms.
My God. Yes, please. Let's put this book in the lens of porn.
Let's totally regress it to just like, what's that hole look like?
Oh my God.
I give up.
Well, I'll carry this book because I don't sexualize everything.
Sorry, I'm just a huge fan of White Widow over here.
Damn. Bad Mother on AWA Upshot
God.
is about a mom in a small town who's
Got a mom in a small town.
Can
Can't
we
quite get her body's type right.
Can we get on the rails?
Sorry.
Please.
Go
She's not getting any respect. No Rodney Dangerfield shows. Greg immediately started tightening his collar.
The one thing she is not is bad.
That's true. 100%. She is doing the best she can.
Yeah, she's got a husband constantly on work trips. Her kids.
Her work trips that you just feel bad, like
Yeah.
something bad's going on there.
He's not answering any of her calls, which is a bad sign.
Even after she leaves him a voicemail that she has been in part of a robbery, like she was in a store.
Hi, honey. I took part in the robbery today.
She didn't take part in it, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like,
She ended up with blood on her clothes.
yeah.
She's got a son who she offers to get him fast food and take him to a Transformers movie.
Dear God, if my mom did that, that'd be awesome.
I'm in.
I
Right.
call her good mother.
And he's just like, nah, I'm supposed to hang
There better
out
be
with
little ponies in
Jason."
it, though.
Stop. And then she has a daughter not answering her texts.
And this PTA woman berates her for buying non-organic apple juice.
Yeah.
She's just getting it from all sides.
She really is.
Yeah.
I think one of the things they did in this book was they made all of the other women look like porn stars to contrast how
Normal.
average of a life this woman leads.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're all wearing like crop tops.
Have you guys seen the movie Falling Down?
No.
No.
If you're not familiar with it, it's a guy has a really bad day, and then he like grabs an Uzi and like goes crazy and like robs a bunch of. It's a classic like '90s action
Oh,
movie.
is that with Kirk Douglas?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. This is like the female version of Falling Down, only she never gets a gun except for on the cover.
She's going to.
But no, but she is falling down about him trying to solve a crime, or him just going crazy and taking vengeance out on America.
You're right. Plus the crime.
Plus the crime.
She's got a cause.
Yes, and that causes what?
Her missing daughter.
Her missing
Doesn't
daughter.
need a cause though, because she's pissed at the world.
Here's the thing, though. The description makes it seem like it's going to be a matriarch versus matriarch battle, which I'm kind of into in
Yes.
terms of these two women coming from vastly different.
Two bad mothers.
Yes, coming
That-
from vastly different situations, means, everything.
I told you. Mike D and I were talking about the book beforehand,
Yeah.
and that I said that there's a crime boss at the end who is likely also a mother, and that's a cool premise.
Yeah.
Two bad moms being badasses, trying to kill each other.
Yeah. Only one's a good mom who just has to do bad things.
One's a badass and the other is a bad person.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. We're on the same page. I don't hesitate at all to call this a good comic book.
Okay, that's great.
I really enjoyed it. I think this is a case where I could 100% see this translating to a movie or TV show. The fact that she's like, they were trying to grab for a hostage at the robbery she was at, and she was the easiest person within grabbing distance, and even the people robbing the grocery store ignored her and went to
For
like
the girl basically in a swimsuit
yes
for no
right.
reason.
It was just like, of course.
Yeah.
Like, nobody notices this woman. She's doing everything for her family, and they're shitting on her constantly
Yeah.
from all angles. And when something happens to her daughter, she is going to go all the fuck out because she loves her so much to do whatever it takes to get her back.
Bad
But
mother.
it's sort of that thing. Like, sometimes your circumstances are so dire that you have no choice but just to figure it out.
It's like Breaking Bad.
Yeah. And I mean, if this is set in present day, she could just go on YouTube and figure out, how do I load and clean a gun? Like, how do I do these
Hey
things?
Siri, how do I kill someone?
I mean, maybe, hopefully not that, although I have no doubt that there's some type of instruction.
It's easy to get a gun.
Yeah.
Very easy. To get.
Yeah.
And our next episode, we're gonna go get one.
Oh my God.
Cool.
But yeah, I don't know that I need to see her building up a legitimate knowledge and skill set.
I know that we made jokes about how she's not a traditional like female or whatever, but I love that she's a mom. I love that she's a middle-aged mom.
It's so funny because she is a traditional female, just not how they're represented
Good point.
in the media.
Sorry. Not traditional comic book representation of a female. You're totally right. It would fly off the shelves.
Bad mother, good comic.
Yes. Eventual bad mother, good comic.
Yeah.
It may not even be referencing her.
They have her on the cover with a gun.
So
But you think they mean the other one?
sometimes they have Superman on the cover of Batman comics.
I read it as like bad motherfucker.
Yeah.
Oh.
you a bad mother.
And it's written like
wow.
in that like movie font that is
like
like yeah.
Tarantino-esque.
Yeah. AWA, you did it again.
You made a TV script.
This first episode was great.
Yes. Your first 4 episodes. That's how they name it. Bad Mother was good. It snuck in there. It barely made it over Transformers in My Little Pony.
Highly contested.
Yeah.
Highly contested.
I really think I don't mean to wrap this up, but I think we've said what we need to say.
Yes.
Yeah.
2 great books from teeny little publishers. I mean, not to say that,
Size doesn't matter.
small publishers can have huge artists and huge
Sure.
storylines
Yeah,
on
yeah,
them,
yeah.
but like you don't always get like micro pubs and books without or publishers without a lot of history
Right. Yeah.
putting out books that you would even think about buying a second issue. So
I'm glad we
win
did
for
these books.
indies
Yeah.
today.
Windies.
Windies.
Oh, wow.
This has been another episode of First Issue Club podcast.
Well, we also need to mention that these books are from very small publishers, and so sometimes it's hard for them to get the retention of your viewership. So I know you may not know this, but you can go to your comic book shop. You can go to your
Local comic book store, LCS.
LCS. You can go to your LCS and say, "Hey, I want to order Bad Mother 2."
The greasy guy behind the counter.
Yeah.
You find him.
And he'll pull out a giant book called Previews, and he'll go, "Hold on a second."
Spot on impression of every comic shop owner.
AWA, I've never heard of that.
Hold on. Okay,
It's not a diamond.
Bad Mother 2. Okay, comes out in 2 months. You want me to put your name on it? And you say, yes, put my name on it. And boom, bada bing, bada boom. Bad Mother 2 will be in your pull list.
And if you wanted to get that's good. That's all you need to know.
Yep.
But let's say you wanted Bad Mother, the first issue of it, right? Then they can also try to order the existing one if they don't have it yet, because your shop might not have it. And they could also get the second printing of it if you wanted it as well.
So you're supporting your local shop this way, and you're supporting the publisher and creators in the best way you can because they're printing to demand.
Yes.
Rather than losing a bunch of money or having people who would have bought this not get it because your store's not picking
Yes.
it up.
And
Right.
one thing to add to this, which you may already know, and if this offends you that I'm saying this, then just forget that I'm saying this. AWA and Scout are not distributed by Diamond. So it's even more important, that's the largest distribution network, that you request books that aren't on Diamond, because a lot of shops don't go above and beyond to
Beyond it,
order
yeah.
a lot of
Yeah.
direct indie orders.
You are in control here of the content you consume, which is great. You can't go to McDonald's and be like, hey, next week, can I get a lobster?
And comic book stores should be fucking elated to order you 5 comics. They
Yeah.
would be excited.
It's literally no skin off their back
And
because
you're
you're going to purchase
right.
the product.
It's
And then
money
you-
for them.
And you come in each week and you buy the comic and you have a cool conversation and you listen to us, and we're happy for it. And this has been First Issue Club. We're a podcast recorded from the moon. Our music is done by Primary Color Music. And follow us on all socials. Do you guys even have to criticize my closeout? Is my closeout bad?
Mother. Bad mother.
Bad mother.
Text your daughter. Where's your bad mother, daughter?
It really should have been called Bad
Yeah.
Daughter.
Stop paying her cell phone bill.
She didn't make the cheerleading team.
Because she likes candy too much. You buy the cheap apple juice.
Your husband's cheating on you. We'll find out in issue 2.
It was very heavily implied. Even on his outgoing voicemail, it says I'll be unavailable because I'm cheating on my bad mother.
Bad mother.
See, everyone else in this book is bad except the mother.
Yeah, I know.
That blew me the fuck away. I could
We've
not.
gotten ahead of ourselves.
Hey, let's get into it. Don't stop a snowball from rolling.
We've got pure magic here.